Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we have a look at various cryptocurrency projects and we decide whether or not we should really be investing into them. Today we'll be looking at Pegaxy. There is a lot to go through. I'm going to do a huge disclaimer regarding this, and one of those is that this is honestly, from what I can see, I'm not a shiller and I'm not a maxier, but this is one of the most well-documented projects that I've ever come across. I am so impressed by this. Yes, but we're going to look at everything to see what we can find, see if there's any potential red flags or anything. Yes, and we got a whole bunch of tabs up the top there, which we can be going through. Cool. If you also do like what I do on the channel, please consider liking and subscribing as usual. Read that little comments thing, as I imagine you might have already. And we'll jump straight to it. Pegaxy. Current rank is 3,353. Market cap, we don't have a confirmed market cap. Now, usually I don't do projects which are on the Poly network, so this is a bit of a new one for me. But one of those reasons is because usually my sort of like token scanning boys are they don't really do Poly too well. But anyway, let's have a look at where this sort of price is going. So as we can see, according to coinmarketcap, and this is from the 7th of November, and yeah, so it's been around for quite a while. And then it had that huge pump all the way up to $2. Don't know if that's actually accurate. It's probably inaccurate. But it might be because the volume is also 326,000, so it's pretty big, to be honest. So anyway, this is a metaverse project. It's got horses. It's as you can see, pretty nifty looking horses. It's like mechanized horses. It's it looks pretty cool, but we'll continue to go through it. CEO and co-founder Pegaxy and Wilton, who's okay, so all these guys are actually co-founders. Nice. And Steve, nice. Let's have a look at what sort of markets it's on. I did actually open this in a new tab. There's not really any sort of mainstream markets yet. I tried to see if I could see these within the spot exchanges or the exchanges in general, and couldn't see anything regarding that. So we do have it on Uniswap v3 Polygon, and we do have it under a few other Polygon things under here. So mostly you can trade this using USDT, but otherwise you should be able to use it in other ways. You can do it with Viz. That's so interesting. I was not aware that you could get it with Viz as well. That is due to my lack of research. So let's have a look at some of these things. I'm gonna put this bad boy on mute. So this is the game reveal trailer. Are you ready? Yeah, so this video, so first of all, props to these guys. So one thing which Alex Becker, who is the master of the metaverse, he pretty much says, like, if you're going to invest in a metaverse project, you actually want to see some gameplay footage of the project. And this is, I think this was done last year. Yeah, so November 23rd last year. So that's probably more of a proof of concept video. But then we do have another one, which is actually a cinematic 3D teaser trailer. And this is pretty nifty. Gotta admit, like, this is pretty heckin' good. I'll speed it up just a bit so that, you know, we can save time during this video. Let's go 1.5. Yes, as you can see, it looks like it's very well sort of done / created. They have this kind of whole futuristic feel vibe to it. Yeah, and I don't know, I just think that it looks really cool. So it's essentially a horse racing game, as you can kind of tell. And I believe so they are able to hold tournaments as well, and you can purchase NFTs. Their marketplace looks pretty heckin' cool. The NFTs which I remember seeing, I believe that you could purchase them using USDC or USDT. I can't remember the exact one. But this guy here, this is Wilton. He is one of the co-founders of this, and pretty much he is the main kind of, I guess you could call him like the spokesperson as well, because he's in a bunch of videos. So awesome thing here is that we do actually have interviews, and he has been in an AMA as well, and he pretty much uploads videos. I mean, so 3 days ago, 13 days ago, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. So he's active. That's cool. So we know that there is active development going on, and this is from the actual official YouTube channel as well. So carpi to these guys, good work, and he's Australian. All right, next thing, Polygon scan. So here's another thing which is interesting. Look at this. This is pretty incredible, to be honest, from what I can see, because pretty much every single one of these is smart contracts. Like, look at that. That is one of the best I've seen. Like I don't even know what to say. Like this project Pegaxy, from all the stuff which I've seen up here, like these guys are one of the most oh gosh, like these guys should be like the baseline foundation for what products should try to be like. Oh my word. Yes, but then you have this one wallet. I mean, it's still under 1%, so I mean, it's not like we're gonna be getting rug pulled or anything. So yeah, I just fantastic, good work. bscscan, what does that tell us about this jazz? Total supply, we can see that holders is 10,000, so there are a lot of people on this jazz. Now remember, bscscan and tokensniffer are probably not going to be as good at reading poly than they would be with BSC and ETH, so just be aware of that, okay? So it says sell seems to be okay, but keep in mind they are on exchanges, which is fine, but those exchanges aren't hugely popular. I do expect them to probably be listed on some bigger exchanges at some point soon, such as Gate.io and KuCoin, but we'll see about that jazz. Alright, so they cannot check the dev wallets, and then it says owner not renounced here, which is quite interesting, because according to tokensniffer says that the ownership has been renounced, so the source does not contain a contract owner. So that's quite interesting. I don't know if their ownership has been renounced then, because remember, we can only see these two things here, and unfortunately Moonarch, one of my faves, is not showing anything, yeah, because they don't have a Polygon scanner thing, so yeah, a bit unfortunate really. So cannot find LP infos, which is okay-ish, and then so but it does know the top holders, so we didn't really learn that much from this. We can see, according to this, so it says present liquidity. If we have a look on kucoin, there's not really much liquidity that we can see according to this, but it does mention it on QuickSwap. So QuickSwap is sort of like uniswap, so we do know that much about this sort of jazz. But also I feel like I don't know what KyberSwap is, so it's kind of hard to tell what the liquidity is right now, because kucoin's kind of giving us something, but we're not entirely sure. We'll check if Gecko Terminal's got something for us. So total liquidity $1,000, so yeah. So anyway, at least, yeah, so it can't detect any sort of locks neither, but yeah, so I'm personally not really going to be going off these guys as sort of like the main metric system for these dudes, because yes, there is much more to go with for these guys. So these guys have got much better sort of social looking metrics than these scanners can show. So Reddit, Pegaxy, let's have a look. So according to the subscribers, so we're going to be looking at some social metrics, because remember, one of the most important things when it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies is the sentimental analysis. And sentimental analysis is finding out what people think. What do people think? So subscribers, we have gone up quite nicely. Comments per day, so they had a pretty big moment there, and then so you know they've decreased quite a bit, but I'm still thinking that these guys are doing all right. Same thing with posts per day as well. Yeah, so pretty active-ish on Reddit. However, their Discord is one fat boy. They have like 150,000 members on their Discord. I have never been a part of a Discord group that big. So these guys are big Chongus boys. Yeah, so in terms of the Twitter stats, I mean, these guys are still getting followers. Look at this. So there is no minuses for a bunch of the other projects which we have looked at within maybe the last like month or so, maybe even few weeks. We've seen a bunch of minuses, haven't we, folks? But look, no minuses, all pluses. These guys continue to grow. All right, so let's see what we can see on here. We'll see if there's any sort of spam comments or anything. Alright, so your boy has gone and had a look through some of these comments, and literally I don't think that any of these are like spam comments. I mean, there's a chance that they might be, but most of these seem to just be people who are interested in the project, or they're looking for people to, you know, like either provide them with a scholarship or something like that. So based on the trailer, you can control your horses soon. Yeah, and so you can join guilds as well, and you can try to earn some fat doge. So remember, so this is a play to earn horse racing game, so play to earn. Yeah, so all of it seems pretty good in terms of that jazz. In terms of the Google stats, the Google trends, so a little bit down there, a little bit more there, and then they had a peak January 30th to February 5th. And we'll just check the last 90 days as well, because it has dipped since then. But they also probably haven't got all the stats neither. And we'll just have a quick check of the last 30 days. Okay, cool. So it seems to have gone down on the Google Trends, which could possibly be a positive and a negative. So it could be a positive in the sense that it could be in one of those sort of things where like, when the price is low, that's when it's best to buy. When the price is high, then that's when you should sell. Yeah, so yeah, just to think about that jazz. Apparently there has been some sort of fake Pegaxy app which has been going around on the mobile store, so be aware of that, folks. Let's have a look at some of the base things about Pegaxy. Pegasus Galaxy. Oh, that's what it is. It's a racing game with futuristic mythological styling. Interesting. Pega, the horses, are descendants of the mighty Pegasus. In this game, players will participate in PvP format races to win rewards in the platform's native utility token, Vigoras. So racing, breeding, and renting. So you can do all that sort of jazz. So these guys are mega transparent about a whole bunch of things, and I think that is heckin' wonderful. So connect, purchase, or rent. So you can purchase or rent a single Pega from the marketplace. And then you can enter the race, prepare. Once the lobby is full, you have 60 seconds to assess the track variables and fit gear to help your Pega match the track variables. And watch your Pega race against 11 others. So very nifty. So this talks about some of the governance and utility tokens. It'd be nice if we could exit out of this jazz, because that's kind of like annoying. But yes, anyway, that's just a personal website thing where, you know, like, it'd be nice if I could go click. But yeah, so they talk about some of these. So feel free to sort of pause this and have a read of this. So Viz has an uncapped token and is an uncapped utility token, which is quite interesting because the fact that you can buy and sell it on the marketplace, so you can sell your Viz for PGX. So in other words, you could potentially always keep on getting like PGX somehow. But my feeling is that these guys haven't actually renounced this project. I feel like maybe tokensniffer is providing us with a bit of a false positive. Now remember, this isn't confirmed, this is just conjecture. But I do think that they have not renounced it because of how much, like, they're still putting work into it and everything. Yes, but it is possible to renounce something and still put work into it. But anyway, so this is their team. They have a team from all over. So they got a bunch of 3D artists, graphic designers, customer support. They got a lot of customer support. Front-end developer, game back-end developers, video editors, Unity dev. I mean, this is a huge team. We are only going to be looking at 3 of these guys, so Ken, Steve, and Corey, in terms of if, let's say, they are pretty safe. So another thing is that it would be nice if we did have another tab, though, which could maybe show us some of their partners, for instance. So that would be a thing which I feel like they should probably add a word, maybe just like one other thing, and say investors / partners or something like that. Because it would be nice to see what other sort of big names are behind the project. So Kyber Ventures, if you remember, they were also that they also have the Kyberswap, fabulous. What else can we find? So Crypto.com Capital, Kairos Ventures, have seen them on quite a few things. Don't really recognize Real Deal. Don't really recognize these others too well. But they say, and many more notable investors. I want to see this many more. Show us the many more. This is their roadmap. Now, this is their roadmap plan for 2022, and this is fantastic. One thing which, when I was watching, when I actually started to watch one of their videos on YouTube, and this is fantastic, is that he started off the video giving a post summary about, I think it was their ICO, or something like that. And the start of it, he said, here is some things which we think well, here are some things which we think went wrong. So they're being so transparent. They're literally, it doesn't feel like they're trying to hide anything. It's refreshing, man. It is refreshing. We have scams left and right out here. So Q1, we can see some of that jazz. Q2, yeah, and it looks pretty good, especially with sort of bug squashing and introduction of the community treasury, fees from marketplace and breeding, official release of the mobile game. So if you do invest now, you're probably quite, and you didn't hear this from me. Let's bring this box back up again, just in case you didn't hear it from me. Okay, but yeah, it could be a great chance to invest. Okay, moving on. They also have a Medium as well, and the Medium looks pretty cool as well. This is their white paper. We'll be going through some of that. We'll continue going through that jazz. So this sort of talks a bit about some of the summary. So owners and renters can earn by, and they sort of tell you how you can earn that jazz. Pegaxy fundamentals and Pegaxy vision through strategic development and community insights. Pegaxy aims to be the home of horse racing in the metaverse, while simultaneously providing an ecosystem where users are able to play, socialize, and work in the same space. Me personally, I feel like this looks a little bit better than D-Race, so rest in peace, Mr. Becker. Alright, so we're going to be looking at the CEO, the CTO, and CMO. So let's have a look at some of their past and previous experiences. So this is confirmed. 31 connections is a little bit concerning. It would have been nice if we could have seen more. Another thing which is also a little bit concerning is the fact that none of these have any pictures beside them. So it may not be that much of a big deal, because we can likely, and I haven't done this myself, we should likely be able to sort of find these guys on Google, right? And we can actually see a little bit more about what their sort of background / experience is. So that is absolutely fine. Yes, so he's been a HRO process associate, deputy officer of deputy officer of office and administration head, deputy director and chief happiness officer. That's kind of cute, but he's also the CEO. Yeah, another thing which apparently they did is that one of the other videos mentioned something about mental health as well. So and your boy loves things which have to do with promoting good mental health, so yes, very attractive. So this is Steve right here, head of online. So you can have a look through some of his things here. He's also been a chief technology officer before for Potter. I'm not sure who they are. We could probably have a bit of a brief look. Well, technology solutions, fabulous. 219 employees, wow. And then this fellow's also got 500 plus connections. What a good time. Yeah, and he's been the chief technology officer for Pegaxy for about 10 months, which is cool. And then we have Corey with Wilton. So he's been a founder for Helpdesk, founder of p2enews.com, and co-founder of Metacache, and he's also now a co-founder of Pegaxy. So good on him, man. Entrepreneur spirit, trying to, get these ventures, man. So this talks a little bit about the platform fees, and one reason why I wanted to show this jazz is because, remember, BSC bscheck and tokensniffer didn't pick these up. Okay, so this to me just confirms what I was just saying prior, all right? So they say marketplace fee. Players can choose to accept USDT or PGX when listing Pega or other items to the marketplace. So the normal sale, so that would be 3% of purchasing token, and auction would be 5% of purchasing token. So they give you an example right here. Feel free to sort of pause and read through that jazz if you so wish. And they talk a little bit about the breeding as well. So that is absolutely fine. Let's move on. We're going to briefly look at this. So this talks about their Viz utility token. I do probably recommend to actually pause and read through this jazz because I'm not going to be reading through this. But essentially it is the primary earning and spending token inside the Pegaxy ecosystem. So feel free to have a read through that jazz. Yes, next one. So this talks about the actual PGX token as well. Yeah, so you can have a look through that. And so this is talking about what it can be used for. So player, PGX or Viz, and then you've got play and spend, so gaming universe, governance, revenue, and PGX, community treasury. And you can also stake it as well. So PGX holders can stake the token as well, and they can also get and so the community treasury rewards by playing and voting. So that's all good fun. Here are some of the use cases. So large tournament rewards, staking, purchasing of Pega on marketplace, and breeding fee. Cool. And then so it mentions that 3% fee as well there. Cool. So this is quite interesting. So this is talking about the token allocation and unlock schedule. This was probably the only thing which I could find which doesn't line up for these guys. All right, I'll say it again. This is the only thing which I could find which doesn't line up. Okay, everything else looks solid. This is the only thing. Token release schedule. So this token release schedule shows all the way from October 2021 all the way to October 2023. Now have a look at some of these things. It may be a little bit hard to see because it's pretty small, but we have so the green is the community developer fund. The next one is the marketing and eco reserve, and then we have team, and then we have IEO, which is the initial exchange offering, and then private sale 2 and private sale 1. Now here is something which is a bit trippy for me. So as you can see, the team is the yellow here. Okay, so the team by 2023 they will own the majority, and then the next one would be the community developer fund, and then you can also see the private sale number 1 and private sale number 2 as well. So they will also hold a equal amount of quite a large amount there. So why this doesn't line up, and let's have a look down here. So when we have a look at the total allocated, we can see that the team is 220 million, and the ecosystem reserve and marketing is 300 million. Now when we have a look at this jazz, it says marketing and eco reserve, and then we've got this kind of like smallish blue line, but then team is like ginormous. Team is huge. It is the biggest, but it's not the biggest, is it? It's like the second biggest. Yeah, so essentially the team will then be able to hold it for 22 months. But one thing which is also positive is that the team won't, and so when I say positive, a positive for us as investors if we invest into this project, is that we can, is that the team doesn't actually receive their first funds until September of this year. So that's pretty nifty, pretty cool. So that's probably one reason why they're actually possibly still working on it. So there is a chance that this could still be renounced, because whatever smart contracts they have in place will probably be delivering to their wallets, which, to be honest, sort of makes sense, as I say, for why they would still be working on it. But I do wonder how they'll be funding themselves during this sort of time. So yeah. Anyway, but they also there's something which projects could do, which is where they say like that they have a private sale, but the team could actually buy it during that private sale. I don't think that these guys are one of these projects, judging by the other metrics which I have seen, but that is a possibility just to be wary of. And then so it says these tokens are locked for 12 months. And then they will be released. And so as we can see from some of that jazz, so pretty cool release schedule. And as we can see once again, this helps us confirm that by seeing all of these different smart contracts. So I think wonderful, man. I think that is wonderful, incredible. It's interesting how they don't have any burn function either. They also, and this is what I'm talking about. I've never seen this before. Like, this is the first thing I've seen this with. But keep in mind, I usually look at low market cap things, so I mean, like, maybe they have these on high market cap things, I don't know, man. But this is incredible. They are showing the public contracts and what they are used for. They show the address, whether it has been distributed or not, Pegaxy marketing and ecosystem. I mean, they show the private round 1, private round 2. It could have been, yeah, I was going to say, it could have been a public private round, like where other people could invest in that private round. But I'm not entirely sure. Usually they'll probably call that like a seed round, I think. Yes. So anyway, yeah, we can see all of that sort of jazz, which I think is cool, man. I think that is really cool. So we now come back to our favorite time of the video, which we've kind of just started. So we got a sort of new formula for this section, but it still needs to be worked on. So this is CSI's work in progress, likely inaccurate project checklist. So functional and clean website. The website was fine. I didn't see any problems. I clicked on a bunch of links. Give that bad boy a 10. Any threatening big boy holders? Nope. Although, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. I know that probably sounds a bit sort of lame that I'm giving it a 9. Yeah, no, it's not the most threatening, but I'm giving it a 9. Any paid bot comments? There is pretty much no bot comments that I saw, but they do have an awful lot of followers for who they are. I'm gonna give it a 10. Is the token / coin distribution fair? Yep, looks fantastic. Although, actually, I'm gonna bring that down to a 9, just because of some of those like extra like release things. Solid roadmap. The roadmap is pretty solid. I'll give that a 9 as well. Trusted CEX / DEX listings don't really have any trusted ones, so I'm gonna give that about a 2, because it's yeah, we don't really see any sort of big names. I mean, for a market cap of about 16 mil, anything which is generally under 100 mil is pretty sussy, to be honest. But these names, I don't really recognize them. So I mean, I'm giving them a 2, because I haven't seen any exchanges which are kind of like ones which maybe I'll like know pretty well. Is the team doxed? One thing about their website, and this is for whoever the developers are, if let's say they do end up listening to this video, would be to actually have LinkedIn's maybe next to all of these guys' names, maybe like just like down here or something like that. Because yeah, I feel like that could be quite good. Because when I did actually try to find Steve, not going to pronounce the last name, when I just copied and pasted his name into LinkedIn and Pegaxy, it didn't come up. So yeah, so I had to actually go into the actual white paper itself and go into the team section and then actually look from there. So I think that would be good if we could see that. So yes, because these other people I don't really know. So in terms of team docs, but we do have the videos of our other guy. So I'm gonna give it maybe like a 7. Yeah, because it would be nice to just maybe have some extra links there. Interviews and AMAs, 10. Any relevant team experience? See, that's another thing, is that we can't see who maybe some of the main guys who look after, let's say, the developing side of things. Like, do they have somebody who is like in charge of the developing? I mean, unless Steve does it all because he is the chief technology officer, there could be that. But I just sort of feel like it would be nice to maybe see a bit more of a hierarchy, which some people may disagree with that. But yeah, I think that it would be nice to see a little bit more of that. So any relevant team experience, so we can't really tell. So we have seen a few technology things, but I'm going to give that a 6 because we can't really tell fully thus far. Any notable partnerships? Not really, didn't really recognize, like, I mean, other than Kairos Ventures, who I have seen before, and Crypto.com Capital, don't know if this is actually properly confirmed partnership though. Another thing which would be nice would actually maybe if they could add links to where they have got the partnership sorted. So let's say if they had like a link on maybe any sort of news website, so it could be Yahoo News, or it could be what's that? Is it Cointelegraph? I think that's actually what it's called. So if maybe we could see or be able to sort of find that from the website. It's also kind of cool how we can kind of like highlight and then it changes colors. It doesn't do it for crypto, for crypto.com, but it does it for the others. So, you know, like a nice kind of blue and then green and then, yeah. So it's quite cool, quite interesting, but I feel like they could put their efforts and focuses on the actual partnerships as well. So in terms of notable partnerships, I mean, there is Kairos, so we'll go with that. So that is our final rating. We give this project a 4-star. Why are you not centered, you weirdo? There you go. All right, so we give a 4-star to these guys, or a 75 out of 100. So that is the video, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Another 30-minute video, fantastic. This is my Patreon. If you do want to, once again, like and subscribe. And if you do want to maybe suggest a project which you want me to do a video on, please decide to become an advocate, because I will more likely do that. And if, let's say, you're somebody who is in charge of a project, for instance, and you want me to do a video on your project, please feel free to message me. Yeah. So anyway, guys, much love, fare thee well. Am I going to invest in this? I ain't going to say. And your boy's not getting paid for doing this video. Pegaxy, give me some money for making this video. All right, much love, fare thee well.